Game number 2 of this 150 game slate in season 22 about to get underway. Welcome in to Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the Snake Pit. It's game 2 on this triple header tonight. It is Chris Curtis alongside Alden Bleeker, Indianapolis hosting the Atlanta Swarm. Alden, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Very excited to be back in this booth. Very excited to be calling a game with you once again. I mean, you know, it's very easy to be excited as a fan, but I think, you know, we're always very excited as a broadcaster to come back and do what we do for this league.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You took a look there at Ryan Roosevelt, one of the top receivers. They've got 2 on this Indianapolis roster. We have Michaela Foraker and Joshua Durr in the stats truck helping us out today. Thanks to both of them for spending an evening with us, and thanks to you in the SFL chat and at home spending your evening with us as well. We're just about ready for football here in this second game of the SFL's 22nd regular season. Should be a lot of fun. Both these teams, Alden, they have expectations, and both of them coming off of disappointing seasons a season ago, but Atlanta, at least for sure, definitely started to figure it out towards the middle and end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have a lot of those pieces that they already need. 3 active SFL Hall of Famers. BDG Hollywood, of course, an all-time leading rusher in all 3 primary categories. Boo Chisholm, an SFL Hall of Famer, 3rd in receiving yards all-time. And Aquanta Shine, one of the toughest linebackers in the history of the league. And if they can do their thing, it's going to be a very tough uphill battle for Indianapolis in this game.
Touchback for Henry McGee, the rookie phenom, as he touches it back and brings him out to the 20-yard line. We'll take a look at Atlanta's offense first as they get themselves out of the field. We'll get the roster to you in just a moment. I formation early. Deepest back is BDG Hollywood. 2 to the left, 1 to the right for Dynasty. Hollywood gets the first carry, going to move it to the outside, and he'll get himself 4 yards and is taken down there. Rest of the offense looks like this. Brian Dynasty, Chad Moore, the back. I probably won't see him much, but may. BDG Hollywood and Jason Williams, your halfback combo. It is Mitchell O'Brien, the longtime fullback. Henry McGee, Kyle Finnemore, Boo Chisholm, and Kay Marion, your wide receiving quartet. And then you have Arlette and Steele, your tight ends, as that goes for 2 more yards as Indianapolis has a chance to get off the field pretty quickly here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the big things that I keyed into. Indianapolis last season were top 10 in most first downs per game. So if they can get the ball and hold on to some time of possession, they can definitely do some things on the offense, you know, not to take anything away from them as good as Atlanta are.
3rd and 4. Split backs for Dynasty. Got to get it to the 30. Dynasty will throw up top, right side. That one is caught. First down and more. The 37-yard line. And that is Kyle Finnemore, his first grab of the season.
And that is so typical of this offensive rhythm of Atlanta. We saw those first 2 handoffs to BDG Hollywood really sort of taking the defense to task, keeping them honest. And again, we see that pass opening up there for Bryant Dynasty, who is, in my opinion, a future SFL Hall of Famer in his own right. So if Atlanta can keep up that rhythm, this would be a fantastic first drive.
Roll out to the right for Dynasty. Plenty of time. Wings it back left over the middle. That one's caught between the hash marks at the 43-yard line. Put right where it needed to be. That one is the first catch for Kay Marion in her new uni.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, Bryant Dynasty last season was top 10 in attempts in the league, 7th with 366. So, you know, he's a big factor in this Atlanta offense. And, you know, when you've got great receivers and BDG Hollywood, a great receiver as far as running backs go in his own right.
4-3 look on defense for Indianapolis. Trying to make second down a little bit harder here. They creep up. They send one for the blitz. That is a linebacker blitz, and it nearly ended up being a reception over the middle anyway. Finnemore can't hold on to it. It hit him right in the hands. It drops 2nd and 10.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, that is absolutely the correct play. Really good job diagnosing it by Bryant Dynasty. Really does a good job splitting the double coverage there, but just one of those plays where it just kind of hits you a little too hot in the hands.
See how often these Ramblers do blitz. They're going to move a motion man. That is Finnemore, I believe. Under center. Second and 10 look. They'll send one more on the blitz again. Right side. That one's a one-handed grab at the 26-yard line. Think Kay Marion's ready for the season? She definitely has 2 catches on this drive and none better than that one there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, showing you how she is a 2-time SFL All-Star. I mean, just going up and making the athletic grab. I mean, it was a great ball in by Bryant Dynasty, but just the sheer effort in Atlanta are clicking on all fronts so far on this drive.
And just on the precipice of field goal range here, see where this first down play goes. Toss play off to the right. That is a juke left and taken down after a 4-yard gain as Hollywood is brought down. 2nd and 6, and that definitely puts them in 3-point range at this point if needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, BDG Hollywood is just so good at getting 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. It's part of how he's put up so many yards over the years. The fact that he's just so good at finding that pocket to run in.
Motion man, they move the tight end right to left along this line. Makes me think it might be a run to that left side. We'll see. Oh, it is going to be a ball to the flat, though. That gets Williams involved for the first time tonight. And that is going to be a 2-yard gain. Nothing much more than that. You take a look at all the short sleeves. Temperature at kickoff today, 41 degrees. So there's a lot of short sleeves in this field. Some long sleeves as well. But a lot of these players really embracing this weather as it sits. 3rd and 4. Got to get it to the 15-yard line for a first down. Dynasty backs it up, looks to throw, plenty of time, throws, left side, caught at the 9-yard line, and that's going to put them 1st and goal. How about that for Mitchell O'Brien if we have a fullback sighting for Atlanta?
Yeah, well, and that's exactly what he was trying to do with that play that we saw previously with Kyle Finnemore. Just splits the double coverage, forces them to go towards the sideline. And like you say, it's a bit of an unusual option with Mitchell O'Brien, but, had a receiving touchdown last season, did Mitchell O'Brien. So it's not like it's completely out of the question. I mean, it's an option that they have. It's a tool they have in their toolbox.
10th play of the drive, trying to get it in the end zone, 1st and goal. Dynasty looks to throw, pressure coming from the backside. He did get it away, but man, that was a dangerous ball. Dynasty goes down, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Indianapolis is trying to do with the pressure. They've been sending it pretty much every down, and it's a real credit to the offensive line of Atlanta that they've been able to keep him up. But yeah, man, that ball just popped up in the air in a very dangerous fashion.
And the offensive line has done a great job keeping Dynasty on his feet so far, even with the extra blitzers. They send one more here. Throw. Left side. Oh, probably should have been intercepted about 3 or 4 different times there, but it's going to hit the ground regardless. Telemex Scarborough should have brought that one down.
Yeah, man, and it's one of those situations where it falls into your hands, and you feel your heart sink because you're you're not used to always pulling these interceptions in, and just man, the adrenaline rush just causing that drop there.
3rd and goal. They're going to overload the left side of the formation with wide receivers here. See if one of them goes corner, one of them goes post. Looking to throw this. Dynasty, plenty of time. Throw right side. That one's caught. It is a touchdown for Atlanta, and that is Kay Marion's 3rd catch of this drive. Gets him 6 points.
Yeah, and that was just pure commitment by Kay Marion. I mean, not only that athletic play, but you see here, this is Verdon is in the end zone, in that checkered flag end zone, and crossing the finish line very appropriately, I suppose.
A little bit of misdirection on the motion as well, bringing 3 receivers to one side of the formation, creating that one-on-one up top. That's a good ball from Dynasty to put it right where she can get it. And Atlanta has the first strike of the ball game. Kick is up and on the way, and it is good. So no issue on the kick for Sammy Steele. And that is going to be your first points of this regular season for the Atlanta Swarm.
Absolutely, and it was a fantastic drive. BDG Hollywood picking up some yards and doing a great job of spacing the offense. But man, Bryant Dynasty really doing a spectacular job reading the coverage and placing the ball so far.
12 plays, 75 yards for Atlanta. This will be returnable, and not much to it past the normal as Devin Lloyd gets taken down off of that return. We'll take a look now at the Indianapolis offense. Colin Pierce, Christian Pierce, quarterback, halfback. It is Tino Sosa the other halfback, along with Joel Harleman, the fullback. And then you have the quartet of Roosevelt, Devin Lloyd, Jeff Banfield, and Rob Hunt, your wide receivers, and then 2 tight ends to worry about, Randy Pierce and Jimmy Wint, the other one as well. So a good passing game from this Indianapolis roster, and they're going to start with a run on the toss. 7 yards off to the right for Christian Pierce, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and that was a great job finding the pocket and setting it up with the blocks. I mean, looked like for a split second that was going to be a huge run, but just great job recovering by Atlanta. I mean, they have a very tough defense, as we mentioned.
And they go heavy set on this 2nd down. They do have a receiver down the bottom of your screen. That's another one through the middle. Chance for Tino Sosa. Not much there as Sean Allen gets up and gets him. It'll be 3rd and 2 on the other side here. Chance for Atlanta to get off the field.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Indianapolis were top 10 in most first downs per game on average, 6th with 19.9. So this is not a situation that they're unfamiliar with by any stretch of the imagination.
And off left side, that one is a first down. Perfectly done by Christian Pierce, able to get one back as the halfbacks are alternating runs here. And it is 1st and 10 for Indianapolis as they avoid the 3 and out. That's important against this Atlanta defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it just shows a lot of confidence, when those first 2 runs don't go your way, just stick with your game plan.
Pierce over the right side, found Roosevelt just past the 43 to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 on the first catch of the game for Ryan Roosevelt, the league's 2nd most receiving yards last season.
Well, and this is maybe a trend that we're seeing. Again, these designed vertical routes into single coverage, it's creating a lot of space for these quarterbacks to lead their receivers into here so far.
1st and 10. Colin under center, Christian behind him. Bunch right along the formation. Toss play, right side. Chance for Christian to do something here. He's going to get past one. Actually, it wasn't even Christian. That was the wide receiver, Devin Lloyd, who got himself a run in that formation. 1st and 10 as they utilize the wide receiver in the backfield.
Yeah, well, we were just talking off mic before this game about the new creativity that we're starting to see so many of these teams employ in the SFL. And man, you just feel like with these runs, these heavily blocked toss plays that Indianapolis are throwing into their playbook, you feel like there's going to be a big explosive run that happens sooner than later.
Another toss play. This one is for Christian Pierce, and this time Atlanta's all over it. Exactly where they need to be is that one finds the defender Chris Henry. This from the safety spot comes up to make the hit.
Yeah, that's the only downside when you have such a strong thing that you're trying to work on is that, you can call in safety blitzes and, cornerback blitzes and things like that.
Over the middle, that is a Ryan Roosevelt catch with one hand. He did the exact same thing that I believe it was Kay Marion did on the previous drive. We're going to call this one the Retroid Nice Hands catch of the game.
Man, yeah, and you said it, partner. I mean, Kay Marion had a fantastic catch on the other side of the ball, and now Indianapolis are like, okay, well, we can do that too, The only reason I'm calling this one the Nice Hands catch of the game and not the last one is I don't think we're going to get another chance. 2 catches like that. You don't see 3 typically, as this will be a split back. 1st and 10. Hand off through the middle for Christian. He's going to get a couple, make it 3. It's 2nd and 7. And put a Retroid in your hands very soon and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23. That said, this is becoming a pretty decent drive for Indianapolis. They're moving pretty well along this field, and they have a chance to get now into field goal range. They may be able to start taking shots at this point. Pierce backs it up, looks to throw, puts it in the backfield. Chance for Christian Pierce on the run after the catch. Gets a couple, and it's 3rd and 3 coming up very quickly. This is becoming a lengthy drive as well. As this will be play number 10. And this is one of the things that we keyed in on. Indianapolis sometimes struggles a bit on defense, but when they have a really high time of possession, they can do things on offense.
Pierce over the middle, has a catch, 1st down and 10. Caught it at the 11-yard line, can still get a 1st down. That's Roosevelt's 3rd catch on this drive.
Yeah, man, and again, it's just another instance, the running the receivers through the double coverage, just the vision by these quarterbacks has been absolutely second to none so far.
1st and 10 for the Ramblers, trying to get this done on their first drive in front of their home crowd. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Pierce is under center. Moving Devin Lloyd from right to left along the formation. Now a quads look. Pierce throws. End zone. Got it. That's a touchdown. Ramblers get into the end zone on their first drive as well. How about Jeff Banfield's first catch? This one for 6.
Man, and we're going to see it again here. This is just a great job running this route. Just kind of came out of nowhere. Again, it's the vertical route getting past the coverage there, but just sort of lurked for a minute there and just turned on the jets at the very last minute, getting below the double coverage there. And that is just a fantastic route and a fantastic pass. Man, Indianapolis, like we said, when they can hold on to the ball, they can cook on offense just as well as the teams like Atlanta.
Yep, and they do that here. So 2 drives, 1 for each team, 2 scores, 11 plays, 78 yards, and Banfield with his first touchdown in season 22. That's a fantastic start for both of these offenses. Atlanta now gets to come out and try to answer, but how about 2 double-digit drives right in a row? If you had that on your bingo card, you win. And we will see what Atlanta has to answer here in fairly short order. This will be back where Henry McGee is lurking. He'll have a return. Out to the 20. He'll spin at the 23 to the 24-yard line. No further than that. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL's football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It is never too late to get involved. This drive starting at the 24 for Atlanta. 1st and 10, Hollywood in the backfield as the deep back in the eye. Dynasty looks plenty of time. Heaves over the middle of the field and well overthrown. 2nd and 10 as that one went about 15 yards too deep.
Well, and this has been a very even back and forth contest. Both those yard numbers very similar, but Ryan Roosevelt 40 yards with about 14 yards per reception, and K Marion about 40 yards with about 14 yards per reception.
And the blitz coming from the back end. That's going to be a throw to the right. It's caught, and then caught in midair and thrown down to the ground is K Marion. 1st and 10 Atlanta. Good job by K to hold on to it.
Yeah, and K Marion just showing some toughness. I mean, this is like something that you'd see at a rugby game, this tackle, just catching it in midair and kind of having to redirect her body to land on the turf safely. But it's just the sheer athleticism and the route running by K Marion that has been fully on display for Atlanta.
Atlanta split back, so they ran out of this formation last time. Let's see if they go here. It'll be another run. This one through the middle. Got some room to go. It isn't much, but it is something for BDG Hollywood. 4 more yards tacked on to his total. Bit of a slow start for BDG, at least so far. Nothing much. 3 yard. That's 4 carries now for 14 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and we know how explosive he can be, so a slow start is definitely not the end of the world for him in particular.
Correct. And it only takes 1 to break one for 70. No doubt about that. And that's going to be through the middle. Not much to that one, but it is going to make for a 3rd and 2 coming up here fairly shortly. Here comes the 3rd down offense for Atlanta. They have struggled in seasons past. Last season, they were not fantastic. They're going to try to right the ship here. Through the middle. Going to try to get through, and he does. That's a 1st down and more. Down to the 44-yard line. BDG Hollywood moves the chains.
Oh, and we talk about those intangibles, right? You know, how there's some things that not even statistics can measure. And, you know, BDG Hollywood, man, almost over 1,500 yards, over, just about 15 touchdowns last season. And so, as we said, you know, even if you're just picking up chunks of yards, I mean, he's one of those runners that can just explode out of nowhere.
Fenimore moves left to right along the formation. Atlanta now 3 for 4 on the day on 3rd down. And that is going to end the first quarter of play. Don't look now, but 1 quarter is in the books in game number 2 in this regular season. 7-7 all, Atlanta and Indianapolis. Chris Curtis, Alden Bleeker in the broadcast booth with you. It is Michaela Foraker and Joshua Durr in the stats truck, and then Commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine on the buttons, making us look better than we should at this point in the season. Split backs formation for Atlanta as they come back out on a 1st and 10. Handoff. And a couple of Ramblers get into the backfield on the defensive line penetration. It's a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, and this has really been the thing that has made it a little more difficult for BDG Hollywood, is because they're sending pressure so heavily every down. But again, you see the one difference there is the passing yards for Atlanta, about 30 yards the better to Indianapolis on that count. And even though they've been struggling a bit on the run, those passing yards have made up for it in a sense.
Yeah, they've been utilizing the right side of the field more than anything. Dynasty's in trouble here. Going to try to take off, but he's taken down hard after past the line of scrimmage. They're going to call that a sack, and Evans is going to get credit for it. That's fantastic work from Rick Evans.
Oh, man, yeah, and he got blocked and then got around it and into the backfield. That's why you saw Bryant Dynasty take off there, is because he thought that play that was a block that was set up there that just sort of dissipated.
3rd and very long. Got to get it to the 35 for a 1st down. Looking to throw it. Rolls out to the right. Dynasty has time. Heave. Oh, intercepted. Back the other way, and the Ramblers are going to take this one away. Back the other side. It is Jack Russell, the strong safety, who brings that in.
Oh, man, yeah, and Indianapolis have had some struggles on defense historically, but we talked about how it's really important to get the ball and then hold on to it. But so far, man, that is just a crucial takeaway. This is one of those games that's already shaping up to be very, very close. And, you got to take away that pass if you're Indianapolis, and, having that hawkish secondary is a great way to do just that.
Speaking of hawkish secondary, Jermaine Minifield went down with an injury on that last play. We'll get you an update as soon as we can. Pierce on the first play from scrimmage after the interception, and a rolling catch by Roosevelt to give him number 4 on the day. That is really, really good athleticism and focus from that man. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the athleticism, the focus, the commitment. I mean, that's really one of the key words of the day. K. Marion committing, Ryan Roosevelt committing to these big athletic plays, really putting their bodies on the line for the team.
That's a QB sneak right away. A designed run for Colin Pierce, and ends up getting the 1st down.
Yeah, and a bit of an unusual quarterback sneak, too, because you're hoping for a couple yards, but that got them all the way up to midfield.
Heck of an effort there. 3 to the right in the bunch. 1st and 10 keeps the drive alive, and they're on the Atlanta side of the 50. Handoff to the right side. That is not going to go very far, and a nice tackle as they bring him down. That was actually the wide receiver, Devin Lloyd, again with the 2nd carry.
Yeah, and now it's Atlanta sending the pressure into the secondary.
Chris Henry had the tackle in the previous play. We'll see where they go. 2nd and 10. From right to left across the screen. That's Roosevelt moving in motion. Handoff. Christian Pierce goes nowhere. 3rd and 9. They're going to give him a yard. That is generous, to say the least. And now 3rd and long coming up there, as we will see what they have in the playbook for something this long.
Yeah, and it's very tough when you know that a pass play is probably coming. And I mean, again, he's in the gun position here.
Yep. 5 wide. See where they go with it. Moving out of the pocket, throws, got hit as he threw, tipped and incomplete. Nothing there. Had a chance to catch Banfield, but he was in triple coverage down the field, and Atlanta is going to get this ball back after what ends up being a stalled out drive. Grant Hardaway with the pass deflection, the free safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to show that toughness, that physical and mental toughness when you give up the ball. I mean, Atlanta marching down the field and just kind of just evaporates because of the interception, but they do a good job being tough and holding on, and they're going to get the ball back in okay field position. I mean, it's basically the same as a touchback here.
Yeah. And Henry McGee's going to touch us back on a fair catch. So we will see where Atlanta's next drive goes after they ended up getting intercepted the last time out. But good job by the defense to not let any points up off the turnover. Now Atlanta trying to give a bit of a short memory, Dynasty included, who was the one who threw that. See where they work with this. Handoff. Left side. Hollywood breaks through one, can't break through two, and got a bit of a rough spot, I think, but second and 11 either way.
Yeah, but it's sort of the opposite of that play on the other side of the ball. But, man, it's just the pressure being sent from both of these teams now, really trying to force the other team to make a mistake and kind of playing chess with each other.
Chance for Dynasty. Rolls out left. The throw is a catch. First down and more. That's a really pinpoint catch for K. Marion, who had to get up just in the nick of time to bring that one in with two hands.
Yeah, and how many times have we said at this game, K. Marion with a fantastic effort on a perfectly run route. You're seeing the double routes towards and away from the sideline. But again, it's just a perfectly placed ball by Bryant Dynasty that allows K. Marion to make that catch, but just the sheer effort from K. Marion as well.
1st and 10. Little floater over the top. That nearly found its way into the defender's hands. Nice work from the coverage man, Jack Russell, the safety, came up and made the hit.
Yeah, as you say, I mean, you got to try to have a very short memory right after you give a turnover. But, oh boy, in situations like that where you see the ball pop up in the air, it's definitely one of those moments where just time slows down and your stomach sinks.
2nd and 10. Dynasty backs it up, looks, throws, heaves it over the middle. That one's caught. 1st and more, out in over the midfield stripe. That is Talon Steele, the tight end, with his first grab of this game, and Atlanta's moving the football.
Yeah, and it's, oh man, the vertical route just gets past his man, not quite able to get past the safeties there, but just a great job running this route and just sort of putting on a little bit of a shoulder twist, a little twist and shout to get past the first line there.
4 wide. 2 tight ends on the field as well. Chance for Dynasty. Throws over the middle, and it was deflected and still nearly caught. That was nearly really, really fun to watch. Game update back at SFL HQ. Cameron, it's all yours.
Thank you, Curtis. Vancouver hosting Portland tonight, and on their opening drive following a touchdown, Sawyer Stern, the fullback, in for the score. Vancouver's up 7-0. Curtis, they moved on without you. Back to you guys in Indy.
They can take Curtis out of Vancouver, but they can't really take Vancouver out of Curtis in some cases, though. No worries there. 3rd and inches as that ball's over the middle. Finds a catch, and it creates a very short yardage situation. Talon Steele's second catch of the drive.
And 2 very important catches, because this is going to put them at 3rd and very, very manageable short. Bryant Dynasty, meanwhile, very quietly over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been good so far, minus the interception, but even that one still didn't hurt him. Chance through the middle. That is Hollywood. He's not going to get there. Ends up losing half a yard on the play as well. 4th and 1, decision time for Atlanta. Likely to be a field goal attempt.
Now, people that have listened to me call...
Oh, they're punting.
Yeah, I was going to say, people that have listened to me call an SFL game knows I'm a big advocate of going for it, and it looks like they might.
Oh, they do. Through the middle, and it's not going to work. Indianapolis gets the stop. What a stop it was. Adam Wiseman comes up to make the hit, and they'll take over on downs.
Wow. Well, you would expect it to come from Indianapolis. Last season, Indianapolis were top 10 in 4th down conversions. Actually, the second most attempted as well. So you'd expect that more out of Indianapolis. But I am a big advocate for believing in your team, for showing that bravery. And in some ways, it's almost like sort of similar to a punt. I mean, you would be in similar field position if you had punted from a ways back. So...
yeah, I mean, give or take probably 20 yards down here, but yeah,
Sure.
I see where your mind's at there. From the 38-yard line is where Indianapolis starts this drive. Handoff through the right side tackle. That is going to be Christian Pierce, who gets a couple, make it 5. 2nd and 5 on the way. If you're liking the game so far, I do invite you to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Thank you very much. 2nd and 5 for the Ramblers. That is going to be a Tino Sosa run and goes not very far. Make it 2 yards there. And 4 and 16 left in the second quarter. Fast-moving first half for a game with 2 touchdowns in it. And it's 3rd and 3 on the horizon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and, you know, it's really been, I think, partially attributable to the fact that both of these defenses have been just such brick walls, just trying to run into them, and the clock just keeps running.
3rd and 3. Moving right to left across the formation. That is Roosevelt. Backing it up. Colin throws short. That is caught, though. Forward progress, I think, has him across the first down marker, and it does. That is the tight end, Randy Pierce, his first catch of the ball game, and it gets him a new set.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Atlanta for the effort to play whistle to whistle to try to push him back. But yeah, forward progress, and man, Indianapolis going to be proverbially letting go of their breath there, and very glad to get that first down.
Toss play, right or left side, trying to break through the tackle, not going to work. Very good pursuit to the ball. Christian Pierce taken down behind the line of scrimmage, loses 3, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just the pressure, like we say, the pressure that keeps coming into the back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you try to run into it, then there's someone already there, and if you try to pass, there's 1 or 2 extra rushers, so it's so tough.
And that's going to be a throw coming eventually from Pierce over the middle of the field, but there's some laundry, and I do believe that this one's going to be put at the spot of the foul. Not ideal for the Atlanta Swarm defense as the secondary got a little bit too handsy down there. Contact made before it arrived.
Oh, yeah, and hands all over his back there. You can't do that. I mean, you certainly can't fault the effort trying to stop a big home run play there, but yeah, just hands in the back there, you know, just one of those things that you really can't afford to do downfield.
And now that changes the whole complexion of this drive. 2:55 left in this quarter, in this half, and they are at the 23.5-yard line. Colin looks, throws over the middle. That one is not going to find the target, Roosevelt, the intended receiver, but the throw was low, and it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and though you got to give Atlanta a little bit of credit. I mean, you know, pass interference, very tricky, and especially when it's for so many yards, can be a little demoralizing. But, you know, continuing to send the pressure, knocking that ball loose as soon as it's not a penalty.
Split backs. Roosevelt again, the journeyman across the formation. Backing it up. Colin has time. Pump fake 1. Now throws. Right side. Caught by Roosevelt as he moves across the formation again from left to right in the crossing pattern. It is 1st and goal for the Ramblers.
Yeah, and how about the patience there? I mean, just sitting in the pocket, pump fakes, man, and the pocket collapsing there, but just a little bit of creativity from Roosevelt towards the end of that route tree creates that space and creates the opportunity to complete that pass.
Shout out to Ethan Kai, Sam Falco, Carter Hollywood, and Dean Falco, the guards and tackles, along with Astro Smith, the center, who kept that offensive line intact as well for Atlanta. That was the Atlanta offensive line. Either way, 2nd and goal coming up here as the run goes nowhere. Either way, the 2 tackles for Indianapolis, whose names I'll mention later, are to credit for that. 2nd and goal. Colin Pierce in the gun, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. We are even at 7 apiece. And this game looks to be as close as our first game was. See if it continues. $120 seconds left to halftime. Chris Curtis, Alden Bleeker in the broadcast booth with you. Indianapolis knocking on the door, trying to get themselves into the end zone for the second time today. from the 7-yard line, backing it up. Colin has time in the pocket, throws, end zone, he's got it. That is a touchdown. Jeff Banfield's second of the afternoon.
Man, and that is just a spectacular route and a spectacular, we're going to see it again here. Just the bump coverage, it's single coverage, it becomes double coverage, but just continues to run that route as designed, and it opens up all the space in the world for Colin Pierce to throw into. And again, just patience is that word that we've been throwing around, but again, waiting for that route to develop, not forcing anything, and it works out for Indianapolis. And Atlanta are going to be looking to fire back here. You know, they like you said, going into the season, Atlanta feeling like they have something to prove.
Yeah, Topher Kiefer on the extra point there. How about Jeff Banfield? He's got 3 targets today. 2 of his catches, his only 2 catches are in the end zone. So
Yeah,
that gives you everything you need to know about where his priorities are lying. It's pay dirt all day. This will be returnable for Henry McGee. At the 20 to the 25, spin past 1. He's going to get taken down finally at about the 33-yard line. That's where Atlanta is going to start their next drive, as they have to try to answer the Ramblers now.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's the thing. You know, you talk about this is a very even game. And, you know, when Indianapolis are running this strategy of just maximizing time of possession, it's, you know, they as we said, one of the top teams in terms of getting first downs. And Jeff Banfield, second game with 2 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. So, you know, he's certainly excited to get that in his first game back of the season.
On the Atlanta 33-yard line, this drive starts. Handoff. Hollywood trying to break through, ends up rolling over his tackle, and it gets taken down after a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and that's really been how BDG Hollywood has gotten his work done at the office so far today, is, you know, a few yards at a time, but just really, you know, stretching it out to what you would think would be a couple yards to 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards.
And off again. That'll be through the middle. Another first down, as he does get just enough yards. And that one is a good one for the run game. 1st and 10 for Atlanta as they continue to move downfield. The run game really hasn't run into many obstacles so far in this game. We'll see if that continues. Dynasty. Overthrown. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's the thing that I think, you know, it's easy to look at how much pressure they sent towards the run game, and particularly BDG Hollywood. But I think that's because, you know, BDG Hollywood is such a great runner that it forces you to play a certain way. You got to respect his explosiveness. If you give him space, he's going to blow it wide open.
2nd and 10. Dynasty rolls out left. Time across his body, caught into double coverage. 1st and 10, and timeout taken.
Yeah, man, and just a fantastic route. Again, it's the route running that is really killing this Indianapolis secondary by Atlanta. That has been their magic, their bread and butter, and their secret sauce all day long, is fantastic athleticism, fantastic commitment, and fantastic route running.
Under center. Dynasty again, backs it up. Time, throws, crossing pattern, and it's a good one. Gets them 6 yards. Another timeout taken by Atlanta, and that'll get them down to 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the drive that Atlanta have been looking for this quarter, but haven't really found. Slowly but surely marching their way down the field.
See where this one ends up. From the 34-yard line. Moving Talon Steele into motion right to left. Presumably a dynasty throw here. We'll see where they go. Has the football. Backs it up, 3-step drop. Throws right side. That is incomplete. That was a dangerous ball. But man, Jack Russell nearly took that one away. 3rd and 3 on the horizon.
Yeah, man. And Indianapolis hanging tough. I have been very impressed with their defense, considering it's been a point of struggle in the past for them.
Mm-hmm. This time a season ago, week 1, they gave up 69 points to Minnesota. So far, things have been much better. This will be a play action. Thrown, left side, caught. Plenty of room. 10-5. That is a touchdown. Boo Chisholm to the end zone.
And how about the patience with the watchword of the day, not trying to force anything on this drive, using their timeouts as tools. And again, we're going to see he started off blocking on this play and just wide open on the left side of the field after committing to that block. That is just a fantastic exploitation of the space by Bryant Dynasty and a fantastic route as well on top of it.
Let's talk about the quality of the play fake by Dynasty as well, and that fooled even the cameraman. The cameraman stayed with the running back, thinking there was going to be a run over the middle, but then, oh wait, he still has the football, and Indianapolis realized it about the same time, and then it was too late. Extra point is up from Sammy Steele, and it is through. 7 plays, 66 yards, tie ball game with 45 ticks left in the second quarter.
Yeah, man. And, 3 timeouts for Indianapolis. So it's not entirely out of the question that they could do something here. But, in addition to getting that very much needed touchdown, running some time off the clock as well.
And this will be returnable, and it is returned for the 15 to the 20. It's Banfield getting through a couple of layers of the Atlanta special teams out to the 27-yard line. Seems like every time he touches the football, something is going to happen. Talking about Banfield. There's your total yards, and right now Atlanta just about doubling up the Indianapolis, maybe a little less than the Indianapolis output so far.
Yeah, and, it's really been Atlanta moving down the field, but, you wouldn't know that to look at how close it's been on the scoreboard and how close it's felt in terms of, sort of the push and pull, tug of war aspect of it all.
Pierce throws right side, tipped and incomplete. As I believe that was very close to being intercepted and going back the other way as Jay Miraculous got a hand on that football.
Yeah, man, and that was just pure effort. We've been seeing a lot of effort on the offensive side of the ball, but just trying to get that up and tipped, man, that would be so huge for Atlanta if they got the ball back with one timeout in this part of the field.
2nd and 10. Pierce will throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Throws left side. A one-handed grab to try to save the play for Randy Pierce. He has it. Make it 3rd and 6. It's only gone for 4 yards. I think you should get an extra few just for the effort it took.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get some difficulty points for that. And again, even when you're not swatting the ball, it makes it so difficult to see where the ball is going when it's just, huge athletic play with your hand up in the air.
And as Collins throw to the right side, tipped and incomplete again. That's 2 passes on this drive that Atlanta has been able to get their hands on. Hardaway had that one, his second pass deflect of the game. It is 4th and 6 and likely going to be a punt to try to kill the rest of this half for Indianapolis.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if we saw anything else. But yeah, and definitely if you're Atlanta, you'll want to go into the half on a positive note, getting a touchdown, getting a stop, and try to make those micro adjustments that you need to make.
Good tackle gets him down to the 32-yard line on the slow return from Henry McGee. Good punt, all told, from Philip DeField, and that will bring us into the halftime locker room. So a 14-all game. This is shaping up to be a pretty good one, as well as the first one from our evening, as Florida took down their opponent in the first game, the Charleston. And now we go to the halftime locker room, and I touch base with you, Eldon, on your thoughts through a very competitive first half.
Yeah, very competitive, as you say. Those statistics are a little deceptive. Bryant Dynasty, 188 yards on 13 completions, and K. Marion almost accounting for 100. It's been very back and forth, and I think we're going to see Atlanta continue to hit on these fundamentals that they've done very well. Roosevelt and Pierce, of course, have been very successful parts of the offense for Indianapolis as well. I think it's going to be a very push and pull game, sort of comparable to a game of tug and war, as I say. K. Marion, player of the half, I absolutely agree.
Yeah, Roosevelt was up there too with 5 catches as well, very close to taking that. But either way, each team has an impact player on the roster, and for tonight, it's K. Marion for Atlanta. for tonight, it is Ryan Roosevelt. But Jeff Banfield, of course, has both of Indianapolis's touchdown receptions. So remember that as well, as the Ramblers get this ball to start the second half in this one. Chris Curtis, Alden Bleeker in the broadcast booth with you. Michaela Foraker and Joshua Durr in the stats truck for us this evening. Huge thanks to you guys for hanging out with us. Not only those guys, but you guys as well in chat, as we wouldn't have a stream if it wasn't for you guys. We are underway, as this one is from the 2-yard line. Chance for Devin Lloyd on the return, gets it out to the 30. Forward progress puts him there. 1st and 10 for Pearson Company as they come off of the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we said, very back and forth first half. Both these teams going to be looking for pretty much any angle of advantage they can get.
Just underway in this third quarter, week 1 of the Simulation Football League's 22nd season. So Florida beat the Charleston Predators on a last-second field goal. One other game going on right now. It is Portland and Vancouver. We'll see if we can get another game break at some point this second half. That's going to be to the outside. That's caught. And taken down there is Christian Pierce after the quick reception in the flats. 2-yard gain.
Yeah, man. And again, it's the if you're just tuning into this game, I mean, both of these defenses really sending the pressure all game long, and you see another instance of it there.
Yeah, Atlanta has not been shy about sending pressure. Neither has Indianapolis. See if they send some extras here. 4 on the line. Looks like they might. They are going to send some extra help on the run blitz, but it doesn't matter. They went inside, the run went outside, and still they held Sosa to 3 yards. So 3rd and 5 coming up. Atlanta with a nice chance to preserve some momentum for themselves if they can force Indianapolis on a 3-and-out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that would be so big for Atlanta. As we say, both these teams looking for absolutely anything they can do, you know, when it's a game this close.
3rd and 5, I formation for Pierce. Backs it up. 5-step drop, throws over the right side. It's Roosevelt. Tries to spin out of the tackle, but it doesn't matter. He's got the first down and more into Atlanta territory. It is 1st and 10.
Yeah, and that, man, it's looked like it was going to be very quickly blown up, but just the slightest little gear shift in speed and that spin move just gets past 3 almost there.
Roosevelt with a real nice subtle post route there that set him up in real nice space. Like that. Split backs formation for Pierce. It's through the middle on the run, and taken down after a 2-yard gain is Christian. Another tackle there for Chris Henry coming up from the safety spot.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Indianapolis have not had the same numbers as Atlanta in terms of yards, but again, it's the time of possession and the first downs.
There is a run through the middle on the draw play. There's nothing much there, but they do make something of it. As that one is going to be a 4-yard gain, sorry. And now we have a key 3rd and 4. They don't want to give up another first down. Atlanta wants this ball back. Big moment right here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and absolutely. And just so much pressure going to be coming on this down here.
They send one extra. Pierce in trouble. Tackle from the backside. He throws it downfield, and it's incomplete. Very close to Banfield getting up the ladder to make the play in double coverage, but it gets knocked aside. 4th down for the Ramblers, and they will punt.
And that is absolutely, but perhaps besides an interception, the absolute ideal scenario on a pressure play, just forcing that mistake there, that overthrow to just get the ball out safely. And yeah, as you said, very close to going the other way there.
And no fair catch called for. Decided to take the hit. That's dangerous from Henry McGee. But indeed, he held onto it, and they'll have the ball at their own 13-yard line. And team stats look a little bit like this. They're pretty even, other than the passing yards we alluded to earlier. The average yards per play is something to look at, too, and I think that has something to do with just the passing yards being a little elevated.
Yeah. And I think if you take, 70 passing yards away from Atlanta, I think, again, this game is very even, just because Bryant Dynasty has been having and K. Marion have been having such fantastic games, respectively.
And Hollywood gets himself to the right side, breaks through one tackle, but not two, as he's taken down from behind. and a 7-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, and again, this is more like the BDG Hollywood that we would expect to see coming into a game like this. Just breaks that first tackle, gets to the right side, and it's one of those moments where people on the all over the defense are like, "Oh crap, where's BDG Hollywood? He got through that first line, and he's about to go down the sideline."
2nd and 3. Through the middle, that one is a quick takedown as Williams isn't going to get there. 1-yard gain, and Adam Wiseman comes up to make the hit. Don't look now, a 3rd and 2, and now it's time for Indianapolis to maybe make a defensive stand.
I mean, it doesn't get, very even offense and very even defense. I compared it to a game of tug of war, but it's kind of turning into a game of King of the Hill almost.
That's through the middle. Got the first down. BDG Hollywood putting his head down, breaking through a tackle, and moving the chains for the Swarm as they have a new sack.
We certainly try our best to be impartial as broadcasters, but when you see a good football play like that, it just makes you want to pump your fist. BDG Hollywood, very wily and creative in finding the space there.
Oh, an overthrow nearly ended in an interception as that ball was very well overthrown by Bryant Dynasty. They do live to tell about it, and it is 2nd and 10.
And that has been uncharacteristic of Bryant Dynasty today. The patience, the vision have all been there. And, certainly not immortal by any stretch of the imagination. But again, that is just not something we've seen from him today.
2nd and 10. See where this goes. I formation. 4-3 look on defense. See if they send any extra help. They will. Linebacker blitz. Doesn't matter. Picked up well. Thrown and tipped. And both these teams have been doing very well at that. Reading the quarterback's arm, realizing where the ball's going, and getting a high hand up to knock it away.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you don't get your hand on the ball, as we said, it just makes it so difficult to read where it's going. You need that as a receiver and as a quarterback, you need that ability to make eye contact downfield and see where it's going.
Yep. Bunch formation to the right. Dynasty puts it over the middle. It's caught. First down and more. And another key play. This one for the rookie phenom, Henry McGee.
Yeah, absolutely. Was lighting things up in the SFLM and continuing to contribute at the next level. Again, it's just this perfect little route past the coverage, and Bryant Dynasty does not miss it. And man, it just feels like Bryant Dynasty has eyes all over the field today. Over 200 yards, and took that sack, gave up that interception, but man, just so productive behind center.
Yeah, he's been good. 1st and 10. Atlanta would love to get some points out of this drive if possible. Handoff. BDG has a chance to move, and he's going to get a couple of yards there at least. That's a total of 6. Make it 2nd and 4 as he gets closer and closer to midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it just feels like BDG Hollywood just getting more and more comfortable. Beyond his physical ability, beyond his experience, he's just learned so well how to read that secondary and make the little move. And it feels like he's getting closer and closer.
And that's through the middle again, and Williams can't get there. Taken down, make it 3rd and 1. And this is going to be a key 3rd down situation here for Atlanta.
Yeah, very huge. And we already saw them go for it on 4th down once, so maybe we'll see it again. But yeah, oh man. And it's so tricky because BDG Hollywood's such a reliable option, but Indianapolis knows they can try to stop it.
Oh, that's a 1st down and more as the run through the middle, even with the run blitz, didn't matter. Hollywood was all over it. 1st and 10 for Atlanta. 2nd time they've converted on 3rd down on this drive.
Although try might be a more appropriate word when it comes to BDG Hollywood rather than stop.
1st and 10. 2 to the right for Dynasty. Split backs formation. Tight end to the left is Talon Steele. Handoff again. This one not going very far. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Quick jump over to SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine has an update for us.
Thank you, Curtis. Watch this play from incoming new old wide receiver Kendra Wells for Vancouver. Gets a block from rookie Cables McGillen. Scores. Vancouver leads Portland 17-3 late in the 2nd quarter. Back to you in Indy.
Kendra Wells going back home to Vancouver, or so it would seem. The year of homecomings, the season of homecomings for that roster. Left side, that one is caught in 3rd and 1, as that one is K. Marion. First K. Marion setting we've had in this third quarter, and that one gets him a yard short.
Yeah, and in some ways, it's a bit of a blessing to have as a team because, that when you have K Marion crossing exactly 100 yards there, but, K Marion had such an impact in the first half. I mean, it really gives you the freedom as a quarterback to spread the ball around.
I formation on a 3rd and 1. And off again, breaking through one, utilizing the tackler as a boulder to roll over to get the first down. Resourceful from Hollywood, and they remove the chains.
Yeah, absolutely. That veteran wile that we talk about, just you're gonna tackle me. Okay, I'm just gonna ride this like a surfer riding the wave into shore.
Keep the legs moving. 1st and 10. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They're going to move the tight end tail and steal to the left of the formation again. 1-on-1 up top. Nope, it'll be a run play. Bounces off 1. It can't bounce off of 3. And Hollywood is taken down. Williams is taken down after a pretty uneventful run. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Man, and BDG Hollywood just showing that creativity that he's so known for. But I mean, the pressure coming towards him pretty much every time he has the ball in his hands. And, it's not without merit. Of course, you got to respect a runner like BDG Hollywood.
Looking to throw it over the right side. That one's incomplete. 3rd down, as that one was forced incomplete by the secondary. And that was Rick Evans with a chance to knock it aside. And here we go. This is a big-time 3rd down. As you take a look at what K. Marion has done.
Yeah, 5 out of 7 for 100-yard games. And, man, it really feels like she is set up to do amazing things for Atlanta this season.
3rd and 11. Chance for a dynasty. Looks, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. And that'll bring us to 4th down. Indianapolis doing a real good job forcing the play. And it's a decision time here for Atlanta. The common sense thing would be to try to kick a field goal here.
The common sense thing would be to try to kick a field goal, but I would go for it if I was a coach.
And maybe they're actually going to do the other thing.
Yeah.
And they're going to punt. Okay. So from the 35.
A secret third thing.
Yeah, secret 3rd thing. It's a little bounce at about the 23 and then get out of bounds at about the 18, if I'm right. So the 1st down marker will get set there. They're going to say the 17. So either way, good stuff from the punt team to try to pin them down a little bit. Now Indianapolis has a chance to go down and take the lead themselves. I think I would have at least tried the field goal there. It was only 52 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm a bit of a crazy advocate when it comes to going for it on 4th down. But, yeah, you got to at least try for the field goal. I mean, we saw a very close one earlier. But, I mean, you got to
Nearly intercepted there by Jay Miraculous, who had his hands all over it. 2nd and 10. He would have still been running had he caught that football.
Yeah, very dangerous position for that potential pick, or I should say potential pick 6.
So Indianapolis lives to tell about that play. 2nd and 10. Pierce going to find himself in trouble if he can't control that. Rolls out to the right. Plenty of time. Wings it deep over the middle. It's Roosevelt. And he's got some room. 40, 35, 30. Down the right sideline. It's Papino trying to catch him. And he's going to get spun out of his shoes. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
And this has been something that has been coming for Roosevelt all game long. The creativity, the ability to run the routes. And we've seen from Roosevelt these vertical routes, the ability to get one-on-one, and it's just taken. He's been fishing for that overcommitment that he got there, just turns on the jets. And, full credit to Moose Papineau for even making the effort to catch up there, but just a fantastic spin move. Indianapolis with a fantastically crafted touchdown, and they are perhaps appropriately given their name and their branding back in the driver's seat.
Man, oh man, 162 through the air for Ryan Roosevelt. And that was top play material. No doubt about that one, as this kick is up and good on the extra point. As we hadn't really seen a lot of splash plays in this game up to that point. There's one there, and Roosevelt is the answering call on that. Atlanta get this ball back with 2:06 left in the third.
Yeah, and that squeaking sound that you heard, that was every coach in the SFL standing up and taking notice of this Indianapolis team and of Roosevelt, because man, if you can do that against other teams and at the playoff in a playoff game, you can do anything.
Oh, how about, and this is a run that turned into something on the return. It wasn't McGee, it was Joshua Williams Jason Williams, who nearly broke through and got a really good return on that, as Roosevelt's talking over to Randy Pierce. Did you see how open I was? Did you see that move? So, very good work.
Yeah, man, and a good job to stop what would have been an equally. I feel like we both would have lost our voices if they had returned with an equally explosive kickoff return touchdown.
Well, I mean, Atlanta does have the potential for splash plays as well. They got Boo Chisholm on one side of the field. So that's definitely something to look out for. And Dynasty, we know, can heave it if needed. This is going to be a run forward for BDG Hollywood. Utilizes his blockers and gets himself 2. Just couldn't separate himself at the time as Chad Rowland comes up to make the stop.
Yeah, and the center of the field got really congested there. We saw 3 sent on the blitz. And as Colin Pierce already has topped his longest passing touchdown from last season by a good 10 yards, and a very good 10 yards. I mean, that is a play that's going to live in the memory for a while.
Right side should have been picked. That probably would have been a pick 6 as well, as Jack Russell's been all over the ball from the onset of this game. Been a magnet to playmaking abilities, third and long for Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like his namesake, he has been hunting down and hounding the ball. I mean, it's very, very appropriate today.
I was giving you that one. I was laying it up for you. I wasn't going to take it.
I'm not going to miss a layup like that. I'm going to slam dunk it every time.
Dynasty looks to throw on 3rd and 8. In trouble. Throws tipped and incomplete. And that is not what was needed for Atlanta, as Finnemore can't bring it down. A quick 3 and out for the Atlanta Swarm.
Yeah, Indianapolis have forced Atlanta onto their back foot in a way that they really are not accustomed to and really do not like, and have not really been in this game. I mean, Bryant Dynasty and, K Marion have had such fantastic games. BDG Hollywood just such a significant contributor as well. And Indianapolis going to get another chance to follow up on that explosive touchdown from the previous drive.
Devin Lloyd on the return, trying to get some space, and it would taken down at the 34-yard line. If you ever wanted to be a play-by-play or an analyst broadcaster, we are looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you, yes, you, to join the team for this Major League season. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and get your voice on the call. Bunch formation to the right. Indianapolis starting this drive, a key drive, as they can secure themselves the biggest lead of the night so far. This is a run for Devin Lloyd. Broken tackle down the right sideline, eventually taken down, and it is 1st and 10. Nice run from Devin Lloyd to utilize some speed towards a sideline, and they're close to midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. And as much as the statistics have been very close, this is I feel the big mental break for Indianapolis, the mental breakthrough rather, just it's that moment in a war movie where it's back and forth, there's no breakthroughs, and then there's one charge that breaks through the back line. Yep. And it's that big touchdown from Indianapolis and the quick stop that I think really represents that moment well.
This will be through the middle. Chance for Christian Pierce as he gets a couple of yards, make it 8. And that's going to be 2nd and 2 coming as we tail into the last of the third quarter here. And we'll have probably one more play before that happens. But Indianapolis has the lead and the ball and are driving, as they will likely continue that drive into this 4th quarter. 8 in the box for Atlanta on what looks like it could be a run play. It's a sneak in fumble. Oh, and it is Atlanta's football. They ran that play earlier. The sneak worked to get him a 1st down. This time, Chris Henry comes up with, I believe, the hit that took the ball away.
Oh, and he's got that ball just dangling ever so slightly out to the side. And that is, I didn't quite see who got that strip there, but that is a fantastic effort by Atlanta to recognize the play. Oh, that is just as we were talking about the breakthrough moment. Here comes the counter charge. Here comes the cavalry from Atlanta.
Trying to get points off the turnover here. Ball in the 33, handoff. Hollywood has some room, taken down after a 3-yard gain. And that may be the last play of this third quarter. We shall see. But what a turn of events for Atlanta's offense. Chris Henry comes up, makes the hit, gets the strip, and then it's recovered by a teammate. And Atlanta has taken this ball away, forcing turnovers. That's been their key. One apiece by each side. 4 seconds left. Do they get the play off? They do. Dynasty will throw it to the outside, get the running back in one-on-one matchup, and he's taken down by Rick Evans, and that will end the third quarter of play. How about another close game? One possession is the difference as we head to the fourth quarter of play. Going to get our station identification out of the way. This is the SFL on YouTube. Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited. One season later, still sounds good. 21-14, Indianapolis is in the driver's seat, but Atlanta currently bothering the driver, I would say. Moving left to right across your screen in a 3rd and 8. They got to get it to the 36, 37 for a first down. Looking to throw it. Dynasty, plenty of time. Heave over the middle, tipped and incomplete. And that is nothing doing. 4th down, Rick Evans again making a play on the back end. Booch is in the intended target. And here we go, punt formation for Atlanta.
Oh, man, this is one of those games that's going to have your heart racing all the way to the finish line. Turnovers, touchdowns. I mean, what has this game not had? That's the only question to figure out what's going to happen next.
Then Lloyd back for the return, and no lightning on that particular return. He had 4 members of the opposite team, quote, swarming to him, and that'll be Lloyd at the 32-yard line. So if you're Indianapolis here, I mean, you have to resist the urge to just kind of kill the clock, I think. I think the aggressive play, I think, is the best play here, just in the sense of try to wound the swarm while they're down.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about how that time of possession is so big for Indianapolis when they're functioning well.
That's going to be a tipped ball out of bounds as that ball was knocked up in the air by Roosevelt, but no harm, no foul. 2nd and 10, other than the incomplete pass, of course.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, I almost think you want to run every down here just to keep the clock running.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite thought process there. I mean, this early in the fourth quarter, I think you go for the kill, if at all possible, and then maybe in your next drive you could run the clock out a bit, but I'm on the other foot. That might be Dan Campbell syndrome in me, too. Four on the play clock. Pierce backs it up. He's got a little bit of time. Over the middle, that is tipped and incomplete. That one probably should have been brought down. Roosevelt, who had the touchdown earlier, could not get that one, and it is 3rd and long.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just been the effort and the athleticism by Roosevelt and, you know, all the receivers for Indianapolis and Atlanta. Just this pure effort.
Under center. It's a 5-wide set on 3rd down. Indianapolis after my own heart here. Quarters defense thrown right side, tipped and incomplete. And Indianapolis going to have to punt this one away. Didn't quite get the job done the way they wanted to. Jay Miraculous in the area as well. 4th down coming.
Yeah, and again, another opportunity for Atlanta. Another chance for this game to have something explosive and special happen. I mean, it just feels like one of those games that's going to have a very special conclusion.
Yeah. Or it's going to be completely anticlimactic and we're going to look like dunces. Either way, it's going to be fun regardless. This is going to be a punt up in the air for Henry McGee, who has a little bit of room, but a fair catch called for, and a flag down. I thought there might have been contact with the kicker. With the receiver, sorry. Fair catch interference is the call. Atlanta's going to accept this. They're going to put it all the way to the 48-yard line. And, man, Chad Rowland not happy on the sideline.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a call that you don't see very often, and that's because it can be disastrous to give up that many yards. I mean, oh boy, you got to be very careful.
So here we go. 1st and 10 for Bryant Dynasty. At the Atlanta 48-yard line, they've got half the field to go to try to tie this game up. 9:27 left in this fourth quarter. Watch 1-on-1 at the top of your screen. That's K. Marion up there. That is Hollywood. Tries a spin move. Doesn't get more than 4 yards, but it's decent nonetheless. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Handoff on the draw. And it is through the left side. Nothing much more than that. And make it a 3rd and 1 on the other side.
Yeah, very third and manageable for Atlanta, but both of these teams have just been so tough and so hard-nosed when they're sending the pressure that, nothing is guaranteed.
Under center. Handoff, left side for Hollywood. He's got some room. Gets through to the second level. That gets taken down, but does move the chains. So the 3rd and short turns into a 1st and 10, and the clock continues to tick, tick, tick away.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems as if they're, more giving the ball to BDG Hollywood now that, they're kind of like, well, crap, we tried conventional means and it's not working. Let's think a little outside of the box of our original game plan here.
Find some creative ways to get your playmakers the football. 1st and 10. Dynasty backs it up. 5-step drop, looks, throws over the middle. That one is tipped and incomplete as well. K. Marion, the intended receiver, but man, both teams' coverages have been very adept at getting their hands on the football in dangerous passing spots.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really kind of says a lot that there's only been 2 interceptions. The quality of these receivers, the fact that these secondaries have still been all over the ball, and again, only 2 turnovers. Excuse me.
Dynasty left side, it's intercepted. Talk about an interception, then we go back the other way, and Indianapolis able to force their 2nd turnover of this football game. That is ideal for the Ramblers as they get this ball back.
Well, my sincere apologies to Atlanta for that particular visitation of the old commentator's curse there. But again, this is just a pure football IQ. Ernest McCray Sr. with the eyeball play, watching where that ball is going all the way downfield, does turns at the perfect time, jumps at the perfect time. And as we say, high IQ, high athleticism. When you combine those 2 things together, good things will happen for you.
From their own 33-yard line, McCray Sr. was very good with the trust, knowing what route was being run, and was able to jump on that football. From the 33. Handoff, Christian. Gets through one, and a hard shoulder charge to knock his man down. That is good work from Christian, able to get himself 6 more yards.
Bryant Dynasty has had a very good game, but Colin Pierce, as you see there, coming up on 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, a quarterback rating in the 120. So, this has been very quietly him leading this offense, and they call a quarterback who's not the all-star a game manager, but someone's got, so in every office place every workplace there's got to be a manager. He's been the one to step up.
The manager, he's been a decent facilitator too. He had that long touchdown, 82 yards to Ryan Roosevelt, and that right now is the difference. Under center in the heavy set I. He will throw. Moves out of the pocket. Back about 5 more yards. Heave-ho over the middle of the field, and that one's well overthrown one more time. It's 4th down.
Man, and again, it's just the pressure that is making these quarterbacks make these very fast decisions, and sometimes that fast decision is having to just throw it, heave it upfield, just to try to get it up there safely.
So 4th and 3, punt upcoming. Atlanta going to get this ball back in fairly short order here as this one's up and gone. DeField put it in a really good spot at about the 25-yard line, and what a hit. Man, oh man. Somebody get the number on that truck. 37 was the number on that truck, and it was Melodious Manning who came up and laid the wood to Henry McGee.
A little throwback to the days of NFL Blitz and NHL Hits there. Just puts his arms up and pushes through.
A little bit of hit stick action, nothing wrong with that. From the 25, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Dynasty backs it up, plenty of time, a little bit of a wobbly duck over the middle, but it does find the target. Finnemore's first catch in a while, that's for 9 yards.
And you saw it there that the 2 turnovers from Atlanta that have really been the big difference here. As we see it again here, the passing has kind of evened up. The rushing yards have stayed even. Their total yards are very similar, and the first downs very comparable as well. But again, it's those 2 turnovers that have been the big difference maker.
And Hollywood trying and does lurch forward just in the nick of time to get the first down. Key first down there with 6:15 left on this clock. Atlanta trying to get themselves down the field and give themselves a chance to tie. Dynasty threw an interception on his last drive, on a drive that was looking pretty promising. This is the answer to that drive now after the defense made a stop. See what they can do with it. Marion moves across the formation right to left and into the slot. Looks to throw. That's tipped, and another one that doesn't go near the first down marker. Adam Wiseman jumps up, puts a hand on the football, and knocks it away.
Yeah, man. And just as much as Atlanta want to tie going into the very late stages of this game, I mean, just as well with the 3 timeouts. I mean, if you can get a quick stop and, leave yourself 3 minutes on the clock, 2 minutes on the clock. I mean, you want to keep more than 2 minutes because you want to use that 2-minute warning as a 4th timeout. But, you can do some things if you get that tie, as you say.
As we through the middle again, how about a nice run through? That's BDG Hollywood, 6 more yards tallied on to his totals. And we come down to the 5:43 mark in this fourth quarter. 3rd and 4. This is manageable. Plenty of plays in the playbook for this distance. We'll see what they come up with. Looking to throw it. Dynasty 7-step drop. Throws into the flat. Needs to break this tackle and can't do it.
Man, and I know I am a huge advocate of going for it, and I know that that's probably why I'm not a coach in the SFL, but I really do wonder when it's time to just say, okay, pushing all our chips in here, and if it's not with 5 minutes left in the game, when is that time,
Probably when there's 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. That's what I would say. And at that point, this is a team that also, as this punt is returnable to the 28-yard line. Nothing much more than that as Spicoli makes the tackle. That said, I mean, this is a team, to your point, that also went for it the single most times on 4th down in the league a season ago. So they are not adverse to an aggressive nature. However, I think that they realize with the way their defense is playing, they're going to put the game in their defense's hands and have the defense get the ball back for them. So it makes some sense there, in my opinion. Empty backfield for Indianapolis. This is a weird call. I think now would be the time you want to try to cut the clock down. And a blitz coming from Atlanta. This is going to be to the right side and caught from Roosevelt. Breaks past 1, doesn't break past 2 as he's put right where he was, a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, an interesting call, as you say. There's more receivers. There's more people to catch the ball and keep it in bounds, I guess.
All right. Roosevelt, 8 catches, 165 on the day. Of course, one of those catches was an 82-yard touchdown strike. But take it for what it is. Heavy set look on offense. This is what we expected to see at the onset, but it's still a throw. Oh, that's tipped and nearly intercepted again. Another hand on the football, this time by Chris Henry, who's been all over the field.
Yeah, and as you say, putting the game in the hands of your defense. I mean, when you can do this, when your defense is still putting up this much of an effort, I mean, it certainly makes it much less of a risk.
Now, a key third down. Indianapolis has to get it to the 38-yard line for the first. Chance for Pierce, deep over the middle. That one's caught. It's Ryan Roosevelt down the right sideline to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10 and out of bounds for the Ramblers, who are in field goal range.
Man, and it's Roosevelt again. The vertical route into single coverage, the overcommittal. This was almost the perfect storm yet again for Roosevelt, and they get deep down the field. They're going to be pushing for this touchdown, but now it makes it much easier to justify running. Ryan Roosevelt over 200 receiving yards. Not to put too fine a point on it, but what a connection between quarterback and receiver.
And today for sure, no doubt about that. Split backs for Pierce. He will throw. Thrown over the right side. That one's caught. A 9-yard completion. Nothing much more than that. That's a good ball to find. And the first time we see Jimmy Wint, the tight end, with the catch.
Yeah, and Ryan Roosevelt, as is called out there, fourth most single game reception yards in the 4K23 era, and there's still plenty of time to go. I mean, there might even be another Indianapolis possession. Who knows?
3:48 left on this clock. I mean, there's still 11 yards between them and the end zone. He could catch the ball one or two more times before then. That's going to be a run through the middle for Christian Pierce. He's going to get them 1st and goal and 4 downs to possibly put this game away. But what a fourth quarter it's been for the Indianapolis Ramblers.
Yeah, absolutely. They have found the magic that they need. And oh man, does his best T-Roy Gaines impersonation there, just running over his man.
Offensive yards total, Atlanta seems to have had the advantage there, but it's a lot more even if not Indianapolis has the lead in that department now because of that long catch and run from Roosevelt, and it's yards after catch for him too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just not just the catch, but as you say, these vertical routes where he's burning the coverage pretty much.
This will be a handoff. Christian Pierce trying to get to the end zone. He's not going to do it. He does cut the distance in half, though. And actually, that was Sosa with that.
Wow. Well, I mean, the numbers that you see there on your screen, folks, really speak for them all. Well over double the yards by Indianapolis, or by Atlanta for Indianapolis, and it's been those two explosive plays that have been really a lot of it, but just the ability to hold on to the ball and move down the field by Indianapolis have also been part of it.
How about goal line cam here, 2nd and goal? See if they give it to Christian. Get him punched in possibly. 4 seconds on the play clock. 3, 2, handoff. Pierce trying to get there. He will not. 3rd and goal. This is a key 3rd down. Even if Indianapolis gets a field goal here, it's not the end of the world for Indianapolis, but it's just pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, not the end of the world, but you got to score and then get the ball back quick. So it would be very close.
That's the last play we see before the 2-minute warning. Here we go. Indianapolis wants to try to put this one away. Atlanta needs a stop. Which side's going to give as this ball's at the 2? Split backs. Pierce tries to run it himself. He's going to get taken down. 4th and goal, and it's likely going to be a field goal attempt here from Indianapolis to make it a 2-score game.
Yeah, man, and Atlanta have a chance, but it is waning. The clock running. They're going to have to use all these timeouts to get down the field here. Mm-hmm. And oh man, it is just looking more and more like Indianapolis's game to lose here.
Certainly has that vibe, doesn't it? This is going to be up and through. No issue to make it Now a 10-point game with 1:55 to go. And Atlanta smartly called that timeout to make sure they didn't take any more time. They have some time to get down there. They have not had the quick strike ability that Indianapolis has had in this game. I think that potentially could hurt them as far as getting this done.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, I mean, they have that ability. Boot Chisholm has that ability. BDG Hollywood has that ability. When they've been at their best historically, that's what they do is just show out and make these big splash plays.
And Henry McGee trying to get the splash play there. Before first down, game update with Cameron Irvine back at HQ.
Thank you, Curtis. When you're done in Indianapolis, head to Vancouver, where Christian Brown throws to a previously injured in the game, Stephen McMichaels, who comes back and gets the touchdown. 24-9, Vancouver leads by 2 scores, but Portland has the ball with about 6 minutes left and driving. Back to you guys in Indy.
All right, thank you, Cameron. Vancouver taking care of business in their division opener. Here comes Atlanta. Over the middle of the field, tipped and incomplete. Didn't take much time off the clock, so that's okay. But then it hits the ground defensively, no issue. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, man, and Atlanta, this is 4-down territory I can recognize now. This is very much 4-down territory because, you know, you're still down 2 scorers if you turn it over, whether it's a punt or a turnover on downs.
4 wide out there for Dynasty. He's got the 2 tight ends out there as well. Looking to throw it. Dynasty will throw over the middle. That one should have been caught. Didn't find the target. And man, 3rd down's looking very large right now.
Yeah, and it's been the vertical routes that have been so huge for both of these teams. Such an important part of their offense, but it's going to be all hands on deck for Indianapolis. They're going to be trying to stop this pass and all simultaneously sending the pressure on the run.
And for 16, Atlanta is on 3rd down. See if they can get number 11 over the middle. That one's caught and a first down got. And that is at least a new set. They use their 2nd and 3 timeouts.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's Indianapolis haven't really had to be efficient on 3rd down is really the thing you got to kind of look at. I mean, 2 of their touchdowns have had, you know, one of them came directly on that huge splash play, but also one of them was set up by a huge, rather one of their scores was set up by a huge splash play.
Moving left to right across the formation. Atlanta trying to stay in this. They need something to happen here. Dynasty moves left, throws left side, tipped, and should have been caught. That one dropped again. A number of drops, a couple by Kyle Finnemore, but across the entire roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you can partially attribute it to just the pressure that Bryant Dynasty has been under all game. But, you know, man, it just feels bad when you get hit in the hands and you're like, I should have caught that. You're just staring down at your hands.
We're going to throw it again. Right side, and it's picked off. And that is going to be the swan song. Miscommunication in routes. It's Rick Evans who comes up with the pick. 1st and 10, Indianapolis with 90 seconds to go.
And that is the dark hat trick, the forbidden hat trick, the 3rd interception thrown this game by Bryant Dynasty. He had a fantastic start, 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. With that 3rd interception, his quarterback rating going to sink below 50. And so, you know, man, it's just really been a tale of 2 halves for Bryant Dynasty and a tale of 2 halves for Indianapolis as well. You know, struggled to kind of break away from Atlanta in that first half, but they are in the victory formation and they're going to put up their first W here, it seems like.
Yep, and that was a very solid performance by Indianapolis's defense. They've taken Atlanta to task really all night long, and it really didn't show in the results and the stats until the second half, but this was a fun game to watch. If you were a fan of defensive football at times, there was some good offensive play. We had a little bit of everything. A fumble lost, a couple interceptions. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to see it.
And I think you also got to look at the fact that, Indianapolis had these fantastic plays, but also they really stuck with it on defense, just sending the pressure that were able to eventually, mess with Bryant Dynasty's ability to read the field as he was able to do so well in the first half. They're able to get those interceptions, and then as well just containing BDG Hollywood 73 yards on 22 attempts for an average of 3 1/3. Very uncharacteristically slow game for BDG Hollywood, and I think you have to, rather than attributing it to a slow day at the office for BDG Hollywood, I think you have to look at the fact that Indianapolis's defensive coordinators had a very sharp plan of, okay, we're going to send the pressure at the pass, and when they put the ball in BDG Hollywood's hands, you got to go put on the gas, get to wherever he is, and stop him. But you look at these statistics, and they're very even. There is one number that is comparatively jagged, and it is those turnovers. Those 3 interceptions by Atlanta were the backbreaker. There's no two ways about it.
And a punt upcoming pretty quick here. Reminder that opening weekend of season 22 continues tomorrow on SFL YouTube, headlined by the Louis Revolution visiting the DC Dragons. Also, the Mavericks and the Headhunters do battle in the Lone Star State. Action starts at 6:30 Eastern right here and all weekend long on SFL YouTube. For the full weekend schedule, visit simulationfl.net. 10 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Atlanta's going to have the ball back for stat padding reasons. And this will likely be the last play of this football game. 10-point win. It looks like it's going to be for the Indianapolis Ramblers to go to 1-0 on this young season. Pass for Dynasty, one more. That one's caught for a first down, and that should do it. So good stuff from Indianapolis. Good stuff from Atlanta as well. But on this night, the Ramblers come out on top. Final count 24-14. As we go to you, Alden, for your thoughts, your last thoughts before we end things here on a Friday evening.
Well, we have really said it all, though. Those turnovers were the absolute backbreaker. First downs even, yards even, passing even. I mean, man, almost as I was just saying in our stat producer chat, one touchdown away from a double hat trick for Bryant Dynasty. So,
yeah,
man, a very close game that came down to the defensive play by the Ramblers. Those turnovers really cost Atlanta, and there's a reason they call these way too soon predictions. You can clip this and send it to Old Takes Exposed on Twitter if you like. But I think this Indianapolis team has the stuff to be very special and surprise a lot of the talking heads in this league if they continue to play like they did tonight.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. It should be a lot of fun to see where these two end up going into the weeks to come. I mean, if you're Indianapolis trying to recover from a season that really got away from you last season, I think is something that is on their radar, and a win here, it definitely will help that as Atlanta goes down on the road to the Ramblers. But we are done here. For Alden Bleeker, Michaela Foraker, and Joshua Durr, along with Cameron Irvine, I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Indianapolis. We will see you at 6:30 Eastern tomorrow for more from opening weekend in the SFL's 22nd regular season. Good night, everybody.